are back with part 2 of SquareHue. I will link part 1 down below, and that is where I had gone through my entire SquareHue collection, and I was trying to figure out which polishes I had swatch sticks of and which ones I didn't have swatch sticks of. And so since that video was quite long, because I have quite the extensive collection of SquareHue polishes, I thought it would be easier to do a second part video to the whole SquareHue collection where I swatch all of these polishes. So these are polishes I do not have swatch sticks for. Most of them are from 2014. Some of them are from 2015 as well. Apparently halfway through 2015 is when I started using swatch sticks. Before that point, I was using those like nail wheels that you buy at Sally's, and it was just not very, they were hard to store. It was really difficult to figure out what colors I was looking at. So I have now switched over to these sticks. I buy these from Amazon. I buy these off of Amazon. They come all the way from like overseas, so they take forever to get here, but they're so inexpensive, like much more inexpensive than these nail wheels that you buy at Sally's. Plus, I appreciate that these are clear. The Sally's wheels are opaque, which makes it a little bit difficult to actually get a full grasp on whether or not a polish is opaque or not. So I really appreciate the clear swatch sticks because you can get a real nice like understanding of whether or not something is opaque. The way that they store these is they come with like these little screws, and you're supposed to like thread them through like this, and then you have like a fan of all these like swatch sticks. I don't store them like that. I store my swatch sticks. This is what I store my swatch sticks in. It's a like milk bottle crate that I bought from Michael's, and this one is actually kind of big. They had one that was like half of this size, and that's probably the one that I should have bought, but I got like this huge, like I think it holds like 24 milk bottles, and I put my swatch sticks in here. So this is how I store my swatch sticks, and it works pretty well for me. So we are going to be swatching all of these. Again, these are not all of my SquareHue colors, but there's a lot of them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide these into color families, and we will do swatches based on color family. All right, so here are the red polishes that I have that need to be swatched. I have Via della Spiga from October of 2014. I have this one here from December of 2014. And then I have King Street from September of 2014. These are from the Passport collection. And October, which is what this bottle is from, is the Milan box. It is a red cream, and we will see how this one performs. It's a classic red cream from SquareHue. They have fantastic fantastic cream formulas. This one's got a little bit of a jelly thing happening, which is, you know, not that bad. I think most reds kind of go into this jelly realm. Gonna have to probably do a couple of coats on this particular swatch stick. So it's a really, really nice like chili pepper red. Really like it. It's so pretty. It's not gonna show up very well because I've got this like flaming orange color underneath, but I like it. It was a good formula. I'm gonna have to do a second coat of that one. Okay, so this one is this word. I have no idea how to say it. This is from the Passport collection in 2014. This is from the Rovaniemi box. Really, really deep blood red with a very nice shimmer running through it. This one has a little bit of a jelly formula, so it is going to take a couple of coats to make it completely opaque, but you probably will be able to build this one up really nicely. Did I do all of that off camera? I apologize if that was all off camera. You can tell with this one, we are definitely going to need to do several coats on this, but that shimmer does come through really nicely. Like, can you see how gorgeous that is? Oh, that is beautiful. Next, we have King Street from September of 2014. September was the Sydney collection, and this one is kind of like a terracotta, you know, clay color. It's a little bit, it's red, but it's also more of a brown, like a brownish earth tone red. And this is a high gloss cream, so we should have a oh, this formula is so good. It's so smooth and creamy. I want like the entire rainbow in their cream formula. It is so good. Like, I want to say this one could be based on your application. This one could be opaque in one coat, and look at that color. It is so chocolatey, but yet like brick red at the same time. Oh, that's so pretty. Wow, that is a really beautiful polish. I need to reach for that one more in the fall. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so I will have to do second coats of those ones. I'm not gonna film the second coat because I feel like it's a little bit redundant and we will be here forever if I film second coats on all of these polishes. This one will probably need 2 to 3 coats. This one's probably 2, and this one's definitely a solid 2. Let's move on to the next color. Let's do these 3 next. We have Cocktails and Cigarettes from March of 2015. We have Tunic from February of 2015, and we have Art and Deco from March of 2015. For March, we were looking at the 20s, and all of the polishes from the 20s were toppers. Not my favorite box. It was really just, I'm not a huge fan of toppers. This one called Cocktails and Cigarettes is definitely a pearlescent topper. Definitely need to put this on top of something else. Not a huge fan of this one. I'm just not a fan of the formula. I don't like pearlescent toppers, and like frosted toppers really don't get me buzzing whatsoever. So this one's just kind of like a womp womp for me, but you get the feeling for it. It's not opaque. It's not ever going to be opaque. You will be using this one as a topper. Next, we have Tunic from the 1910s box of 2015. This one is labeled as a high gloss cream, but I remember the formula being really, really watery when I first got the box in 2015, and I don't think it's gotten any better since then. I'm pretty sure this is a very, very watery, almost sheer polish, and I bet if they were to label it as a sheer, I don't think I would have been that upset with it, but it was labeled as a high gloss cream, and so of course I had my hopes real high on this one, and it was kind of let down tremendously. But if you come in at it thinking it's a sheer, you're really not that disappointed. Very, very pretty, a nice peachy nude. It is buildable, and with it being so sheer, it does dry pretty quickly, but I had to go anywhere from like 3 to 4 coats to get this one opaque, especially like on the 4-coater side if I had longer nails. But it is a very pretty sheer peach, very nice nude peach, very complimentary for those of us with strong yellow undertones in our skin. But again, the formula was very, very lacking on this one for me. The last one we have in this little trio is Art and Deco. Same box that Cocktails and Cigarettes came in. And I wanna say this one is a little bit more opaque. Like you can actually wear it on its own, but it also might be a topper. I honestly can't remember how this one performs, because like I said, I don't reach for this collection or this box that often. So I wanna say it's a topper, and it looks to be, yes, a kind of frosty metallic topper. You might be able to build this one up a little bit, but it is going to be very sheer. It looks gorgeous in the bottle, don't get me wrong. Like this kind of rose gold copper, absolutely stunning, but you will need to build this one up, and I don't know, I'm just a little disappointed with this one because I wanted it to be so beautiful, and it is so beautiful in this bottle, but it just doesn't perform that well. Just like with the other ones that I had mentioned, I will not be filming a second coat on these ones, but most of these will be getting 2 to 3 coats on these swatch sticks. All right, the next 3 that we have here, we're moving into like our yellow and oranges. Here we have a nice, beautiful shimmery pumpkin orange. This one is called Crown Drive from 2014. This one is called Sampokuskus, I have no idea, from December of 2014. And the last one we have is St. Lucia from June of 2016. Now I thought I had a swatch stick of this one, but I can't find it anywhere, so I'm just gonna do another one. So let's start with this beautiful kind of rusted pumpkin shimmer. The shimmers are so pretty. They usually have pretty good formulas. This one is not bad. I mean, in comparison to some of these other shimmers, it's kind of average, but they look so good with a matte topper on them. They've got a really nice like mix of a metallic shimmer with a cream base that just makes it look velvety when you add a matte topper to it, but they also look absolutely stunning with a high gloss topper as well. You will probably get this one completely full coverage in about 2 coats. This is a gorgeous fall time color. I have worn this one quite a bit, especially around like Thanksgiving. It is a classic Thanksgiving color for me. It's just this perfect pumpkin orange with this fantastically just decadent gold shimmer running through it. This one is gorgeous. I will probably have to do another coat on this one, but it is stunning. Okay, next one we have the Sampokus. I'm not even going to attempt to fool myself that that was the correct way of pronouncing that word. This one is a very thick gold cream with like a very, very thick gold glitter. It's very, very chunky, but the application is flawless. Like you can just see this polish is from 2014, so it's older, but it's still performing absolutely magically. It is a textured polish, so it runs a little bit on the thick side, but I am very, very happy with one application of this. I am beginning to see a little bit of some bald patches happening here, but this is so beautiful. I love to work with this one around Christmas time. It looks so nice with a pine green. It's beautiful. And also just like wearing it on its own is so just seasonal. It's so seasonal. This last one here is St. Lucia from June of 2016. This one was kind of gloopy for me, and it has continued to stay gloopy. I've put lots of thinner in it, and it's still just really, really thick. I'm able to get it opaque in one, but it is very, very, very thick, and it takes a long time for it to dry. So not necessarily my favorite formula, but I think with the yellows, it's just so hard to get decent formulas with yellow polishes. This was a really, really noble attempt, but unfortunately, it's still really, really gloopy. There's this trio. Most of these will be getting another coating of polish, but we need to move on and try to keep this video as pain-free as possible. Here we have our last yellow, and then we're moving into greens. So I've got Oxford Street from September of 2014. I have Rivantuli from December of 2014, and I have LeBlanc from May of 2014. I do remember Oxford Street, and Oxford Street is amazing. And the color of it is almost like an antiqued gold, which is absolutely beautiful. I love how it's a little bit more of a like orangey gold and less of a brassy gold, which I really enjoy. The formula on this one doesn't seem to be as stunning and as impressive as the other shimmer formulas, but it'll be good. It'll still be good in 2 coats, and it will also look phenomenal with a matte topper on it. Beautiful, beautiful, just goldenrod gold color that is so incredibly gorgeous, and looking and seeing all those shimmers sparkle and shine is fantastic. That one is actually quite a keeper. Okay, next we have this Rivantuli, December of 2014. Very, very seasonal, and was just absolutely beautiful. This formula is a little bit on the weird side. It's very, very thick, but I think that's to be expected. It's, you know, pretty old. It's from 2014, so I might have to put some restorative in it. And it is very much opaque in one coat. I believe this one appears to maybe even dry matte, just because it was starting to dry a little bit. And it looked like it was mattifying just a tad. So we will have to see what this looks like when it dries completely. But I really love the way it looks glossy. Like you've got this beautiful deep pine green with a Kelly green shimmer running through it that just, that's hypnotic. That is absolutely hypnotic. And this type of green is the perfect companion to the other like gold glitter that came in this box. Like these two together, magical things can happen. This next one I have worn quite a bit. This is LeBlanc from May of 2014. It's a very beautiful Kelly green shimmer. Like it is a little bit on the sheer side, but it's going to be a solid 2-coater, no problem. This is gorgeous. What a perfect like St. Patrick's Day polish. This is so pretty, and I'm sure just like the rest of these shimmers from SquareHue, it's going to look so good with a matte topper on it. So it does need a couple more coats before it's completely opaque, but here's kind of an idea of what it's gonna look like. Here's the trio that we just did. Again, none of these polishes actually go together. These are just the color families that I've grabbed. And if we look at Rivantuli, it does seem like it's starting to mattify just a wee bit, so that's kind of exciting. So we've got our next 3 for swatching. There are some updates though. I was right about Rivantuli, this pine green polish we were swatching before. It does dry matte. This is gorgeous. I can't believe I don't remember this one. It's amazing. But now we're gonna talk about these 3 that we have here. We have Palm Springs from 2016. One of my favorite boxes from the Decades collection was the 1950s box. We have War Crinoline from February of 2015. This was also a duplicate that I mentioned in part 1 of my SquareHue storage, of my SquareHue video. And then the last one is Copacabana from May of 2014. We've got some greens and a blue glitter. So let's get these babies swatching. We're gonna start with Palm Springs In Your Face Lime Green. Makes me super, super happy, and it worked so nicely with the rest of the colors in the box. There was like a sky blue and a bubblegum pink. It was just perfection. Perfection indeed. This one is a little bit on the sheer side, and so it probably will need about 2 coats to be opaque. Either that or I did not shake it up enough in the bottle because it has been sitting there for quite some time, but it's not bad. And when I actually get enough coats on there, it will look very, very close to what's in the bottle. Beautiful color. Next up is War Crinoline, which is a kind of a camo olive army green. Like I had mentioned before, is a duplicate of another color that they came out with later in the year, I think. Or earlier, I cannot remember. The formula is kind of watery, but I feel like it's going to be absolutely perfect in 2 coats. This is a color I'm not necessarily like super, super hip about. It's a little bit weird for me. I think it's a good color to have in your collection because it's kind of a nice army olive green that you may need for nail art or perhaps a really nice fall manicure. I mean, it could also work for spring as well. But there is only 1 coat on there. I will probably do a second when that one dries. And then the last one we have is Copacabana. I remember this one being very, very watery, yep, and being very, very base heavy. So this one is definitely a topper, or you might have to do a combination of like sponging and brush stroke application because I don't think it's really going to be opaque on its own, but it'll work. Like you could easily put it on top of a blue polish, like a deep blue or even like Sally Hansen's Pacific Blue, and then put this on top and you can still get that same effect. Or like I was saying before, you can sponge it on, you can brush it on, you can do a combination of sponging and brushing, but you're gonna have to probably work with this one to get a complete opaque coverage. It's very, very glittery, very, very sparkly, and super fun. So there are those 3 swatched and ready to go. So we're gonna let those babies dry. Next up, we've got some dark blues and a purple. These look very, very similar. One of these is Media Luna from earlier this year. I should have a swatch stick of this one, but I cannot find it for the life of me. So I'm just gonna make another one. And if it turns up later, I'll just throw it away or I'll paint something else on top of it, but for right now, I cannot find it. We also have Wilshire Boulevard from August of 2014, and then the last one is Canyon Drive, also from August of 2014, which was the Passport collection. Let's swatch Media Luna. I wish I could find the swatch stick for this one. As I recall, this one has a pretty decent formula. It's not bad. It's definitely a solid 2-coater. I was kind of hoping that it would be a real rock star and just be good in one, but it does get a little bit patchy and it dries a little bit baldy in some places, but it's not bad. This one does look quite lovely though with a matte topper on it. It is magical with a matte topper, but there's almost not enough silver shimmer in there to make it super, super satiny and velvety when it dries with the matte topper. So I actually kind of prefer Wilshire Boulevard with that matte topper because it really does make it quite velvety. All right, let's see how this one turns out. It's hard keeping these in focus because of the clear swatch sticks, but hopefully you're getting a good idea of how this performs. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. This is your classic, awesome, flawless SquareHue shimmer that is opaque in 1 coat, and it is amazing. Oh, this is beautiful. When comparing it to Media Luna, you can see that Wilshire Boulevard is almost more sapphire and Media Luna is navy. Oh, those are gorgeous, gorgeous polishes. All right, let's see how Canyon Drive performs. And as far as the color goes, it's one of those like antique, like lavender colors, like lilac colors. I think I've mentioned this before, but I used to work at David's Bridal. And one of the colors for the bridesmaids dresses that they had was Victorian lilac. I think that's what it was called. I think it was called Victorian lilac, and that's what this color reminds me of. It's like this old antiquated lilac lavender color, but with this like shimmer running through it, it makes it quite like luxurious and very, I don't know, kind of snappy and snazzy. I like it. This one does not need a second coat. This one will for sure need a second. And Canyon Drive, it could be okay in one, but I might put a second on it just to be safe. Here are the next three. Here we have some like variants of purple. We have Baby 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 from 2015. This is the Decades Collection. We have Passage de Gracia, which is July of 2014. And then we have this ridiculous name, not ridiculous, but just unpronounceable for me, from November of 2014 as well. So kind of varying shades of like a very deep, deep purple. Let's start with Baby Baby Baby. This one, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember how well this one performed. It's from a couple years back, but I don't really, doesn't stick out in my mind, which I don't know, makes me think it might not be that great, but we shall find out. It has a decent formula. It's not awesome. It's definitely on the sheer side, so I will probably need a second coat, maybe even a third. I kind of wish it had more of a silvery shimmer running through it and less of this kind of bluish purple shimmer, but I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think I would necessarily wear this one all the time, but you know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I don't know if most of that was off camera. I apologize if that was, but I mean, it looks pretty. It definitely is quite gorgeous on the nail. It just doesn't seem to have that much of a pizzazz when not fully opaque, but when you put it on top of the bottle, it actually is quite gorgeous. So I'm kind of excited about that one. That one would be really nice in the fall. Or on the toes in the summer. That would look be gorgeous. Okay, next let's do Passage de Gracia. I have worn this one quite a bit. It is quite lovely. It's very, very deep eggplant, dark, like a darkened eggplant purple with a shimmer. Let's swatch this baby. This one is so pretty. It's so deep. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm putting on a pretty thick coat here, almost a little too thick. Getting kind of hasty with it, but it's so pretty. It's just, I love these blackened colors in the fall, like so deep and dark, they're almost black, but you can tell in the right light that they have a color to them, and this one is no exception. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's such a deep, romantic, dark purple. The shimmer doesn't quite show up as nicely as you would like it to. It's very, very striking in the bottle. It doesn't quite show up as nicely on the nail, but quite lovely. Very, very gorgeous. Might even be okay in one coat, but I'll definitely be doing a second just to keep things even. Okay, this last one is from November of 2014. I haven't worn this one as much, and I think mainly it's just because my tastes have changed since this polish came out. When this polish first came out, it was definitely not anything I would ever wear. But now I kind of dig some of these really vampy like colors lately. It's just, I don't know, something in me, or maybe it's trends or something, but I'm really, really digging these darker colors in the fall because they're so, so beautiful. This one, as you're applying it, almost has kind of a red vibe to it. I thought it was purple, but as I'm applying it, it's more red than purple, like a maroon even. So very, very interesting. I am falling in love with this polish. I don't remember this one at all, and clearly I haven't worn it that often, but it does not look like what you see in the bottle. Like in the bottle, it looks very gray and almost like stone-like, but it's red when you put it on. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I feel bad that I've been neglecting this one because it's gorgeous. I would definitely say it's more red than purple, but I don't know, maybe if you put it with reds, it would look more purple. Who knows? Who knows? But there are the three swatches. I will definitely do probably second coats on all of these, especially Baby Baby Baby. That one is definitely starting to shear out quite a bit. So I will do second coats on those ones for sure. Okay, here's our next set of three. We have another purple, this kind of weird purpley topper, and a pink. Here we have Victorian End from January of 2015, the Decades Collection. We have Drop Out from July of 2015, the Decades Collection. And we have Gibson Girl from January 2015, which was the Decades Collection. Let's start with Victorian End. It's another one of these darkened lavenders. I remember liking this one quite a bit when it first came out, but I don't think I ever really wore it that often. I just never seemed to gravitate towards it. I probably just got distracted by other polishes, but this one's not bad. The formula is okay. Like, it applies really nicely, but it does seem to be a little bit on the sheer side. So I will have to build this one up with several coats, but it's nice. I mean, it's nice. I'm not gonna say I'm gaga for it. I think there was other purples that I have enjoyed more from SquareHue, but this one's not bad. I just feel like it's not vibrant enough for me. Let's do Drop Out. This one, I know for sure is a topper, which is kind of disappointing because it's kind of duochrome-esque, but it is extremely sheer and you do have to build it up quite a bit. I don't remember ever being able to get this one completely opaque. I think I mostly used it as a topper on purples and blues, but as you can tell, it's like real sheer. The sheerness is real. I probably will go as far as like 3 coats on this particular swatch, because I don't have time to do more than that. This one's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's super, super cool and it's gorgeous, but I just wish it was more opaque and it could stand on its own and didn't have to be a topper. Next, we have Gibson Girl. This one's super, super separated. It's been untouched for quite some time, but it is a very pretty, dusty bubblegum pink. And I think it goes so nicely with the name Gibson Girl. I just think they did a really great job of pairing the name with the color on this one. Formula is really nice. I don't remember the formula being this nice. I remember the formula being super runny. Oh, this one's Ooh, this one's so nice. Oh my goodness, it's nearly opaque in 1 coat. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I haven't used this one more often. It's coming up pretty bright on camera. It's more dusty in person. And I will probably be doing multiple coats on this particular swatch, but I'm actually impressed or like shocked that I haven't used this one as much. I always assumed it was super, super sheer. I wonder why. I don't know, because it's not sheer at all. Maybe it's gotten better over the years, but oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. So awesome. So here are the 3 swatches. I will be doing probably more coats on all of these, especially Tune Out. That one's gonna need a couple of coats to get a real vibe for how that polish behaves. But yeah, not bad at all. I think my favorite out of those 3 would definitely be Gibson Girl. I just completely forgot how nice that formula is. Next set of 3, we have 2 silver grays and a pink. The pink that we have here is Kewpies from 2015, and that's the Decades collection. We then also have Pariska, which is November of 2014, which is the Passport collection. And then we have Style and Speed from March of 2015, which was also the Decades collection. So let's jump in with Kewpies. I remember Kewpies being really watery, like as bad as Tunic. Remember how bad Tunic was? It was super, super watery. I want to say Kewpies was the exact same way. So maybe that's why I never used Gibson Girl, because I always thought it was Kewpies, or I had Kewpies and Gibson Girl like confused with one another. But this one, I mean, it's not bad. To me, this one is very comparable to those Orally spring polishes that came out this year that are like super, super sheer. But depending on your personality type and how you like polishes, it's not that bad. It's sheer. It's very sheer, but it's evenly sheer, which I appreciate. Sometimes with these sheer polishes, they're so incredibly milky and it's really hard to manipulate them. But this one is an even sheer. It looks good enough for a sheer. I'm just not a huge fan of it. So that one will probably need anywhere from 2 to 3 coats to get completely opaque. Let's try the Pariska. I don't think I've ever really worn this one because it never really seemed like my type of thing. It's this kind of steel blue gray with some silver metallic glitter running through it. It's really hard focusing on these like clear swatch sticks. My camera doesn't quite know what to do. It's actually not bad. I was expecting it to be very, very sheer, but it's quite creamy and it seems to level out nicely. I was worried the glitter was going to cause some like application issues, like it would be uneven when applying it, but it's not bad. I mean, it's still a little bit weird. I don't know if I'd wear it. I might use it as an accent nail and it looks really nice next to Kewpies. I feel like this would be a super cute manicure if Kewpies was a little bit more opaque. You could do some cute, like, I don't know, pinstripes or something with that. That would be really, really cute. But unfortunately, Kewpies does not have the best formula. This one's not bad though. I'm quite impressed with that. Style and Speed, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very sheer. Most of the polishes from that March box in 2015. They were all toppers, which I think I've already talked about in my past, in the part 1 of these SquareHue collection video. They were all toppers, and it was kind of disappointing. Over the years, though, it seems like this one has thickened up a little bit and has become quite a nice foil polish. I don't remember this being this opaque when it first came out. I remember it being very, very watery, and you had to really, really work at it to get it opaque, but now this is actually kind of nice. Oh, I like this. This is a nice foil. It almost reminds me of Celeb City from Sally Hansen. That's like one of my all-time favorite silver foil polishes. This one is really close to that. Oh, okay. I like that. Okay, cool. So, I mean, not bad. Not bad. And actually, I kind of like the look of this. Is anybody else with me on this? I think this looks good. This like silver foil with the dark gray and the pink. SquareHue, we should do this. I like this a lot. So yeah, loved Style and Speed. That one was definitely a surprise. Parishka is kind of, I'll warm up to it. I may need to warm up to that one. And Kewpies, I know, is just super, super sheer. So I don't know if I'm ever going to come around to that one. But it looks nice in the bottle, and it looks great with these gray polishes. Okay, we've only got 4 left. And then this swatch video will be complete. So let's do these 3. Let's do 2 and 2. We will do these 2 first. We have First in Flight from January of 2015. That's the Decades collection. And we have Rodeo Drive from August of 2014, which was the Passport collection. We've already seen the other 2 polishes from this box. They were fantastic. And we've also seen the other 2 polishes from this box as well. That was Gibson Girl and Victorian End. So let's see how First Flight compares to the other polishes from that box. It's kind of a nice like elephant gray. A little bit pearlescent, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the formula is actually nice. Like, this is leveling out really nicely. It's a little bit, you know, watery, but not bad. Like, it's not terrible. And quite opaque. I am digging this. I am digging this a whole lot. It's not terribly frosty, but it's not horrible. I really like this. This is definitely going to need a second coat, but it's such a nice light gray, and that pearlescent finish kind of gives it a little bit of a kick that I really enjoy. That's interesting. I was not expecting to be so surprised by that one. As far as color goes, I thought the formula was going to be fine because the other 2 formulas from that box were pretty good, but the color actually is quite intriguing to me. Okay, the next one we have is Rodeo Drive. Really, really beautiful tarnished silver kind of color. Let's see how it performs. It looks like to be a foil, and the foils are pretty good from SquareHue. This one looks nice. A little bit on the thin side, but you can obviously build it up, get full opaque coverage. I kind of like this tarnished silver. It's a little bit different. Kind of applying it a little bit thick on here, but that's just because I really don't want to do a second coat if I have to, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do a second coat on here. But it looks pretty nice. This looks good. I want to say this reminds me of another mainstream polish, but I can't remember. I think I feel like I've seen this before. Maybe from a Sally Hansen. But that's gorgeous. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Both of those are very surprising to me. I'm not a huge fan of like silvers and grays that often, but this is really quite something special. I like that. I'm trying to move a little bit quickly because I got to make dinner soon. So I'm trying to like buzz through these as much as I can. So we have Via, these are the last 2, Via Montanapoleone. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know Italian, but this is from October of 2014 from the Passport collection, or October of 2014. And then we also have Via Sant'Andrea, which is also from October of 2014. This was the Milan box. Now, the reason I have this black swatch stick here is because I believe this is the swatch for Via Montanapoleone or whatever, because it dries matte, but I'm gonna test it out to make sure. I'm pretty sure this is a matte black polish, but I'm gonna swatch it on top of this matte because this isn't labeled, so I don't know what this is. Pretty sure it's SquareHue, but we will find out. Ooh, this is a nice black cream. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is lovely. That is beautiful. So we're gonna let this one dry, and if it mattifies, then we know we had the right swatch stick from the beginning. And then the other one is Via Sant'Andrea, kind of a not quite chocolatey brown, but I don't know, tan, darkened tan perhaps. I'm I'm not really good at describing brown. To me, it's all kind of brown. It's either milk chocolatey brown or it's like dirt brown. This one is like, ooh, this one's a little bit watery. Yeah, kind of like a deep tan or an almond maybe. Maybe not almond, I don't know. Walnut? I don't know what I'm talking about. My formula is okay. I mean, I was really impressed with that black cream, so maybe it was just bad timing for this one in particular, but it's not bad. I mean, it levels out nicely and it seems to be covering pretty good. You'll probably need 2 coats to get this one opaque. Interesting color, very interesting color. I don't think it would necessarily work for my particular skin tone, but it is something interesting. Like, I think this clashes a little bit too much with my, like, tanner skin. I think possibly in the winter when my skin lightens up quite a bit, that might look better. But for right now, not so much. But the formula's not bad. Not bad formula on that one. Those are all the swatches of all the SquareHue polishes. So I'm gonna go and do second coats on all of these, and I'll come back with like more in-depth accounts of certain polishes, if things changed, if things got better, if things got worse, but I will definitely come back in a minute. All right, so it has now been like 4 or 5 days since I filmed all those swatch videos, and many things have happened, my friends. Firstly, I've redone my nails, painted them pink with a cute little glittery topper. Second, our air conditioner broke. So it is very hot inside my house right now and I am not enjoying it. So I was watching all the clips from the SquareHue swatching and I realized I never really closed out the video. So here we go, we're ending my video right now as we speak. I really wanted to quickly wrap things up with just kind of how I organize my swatch sticks. I know I already showed you the box that I put them in, but I wanted to show you how I label my swatch sticks. So I wanted to use this Via Montana that I just swatched like 2 seconds ago for this video, but like honestly a week ago for me. And we can see that it did in fact dry matte, which is très bien. So now I have to label it. Now before, when I was just barely starting to swatch my nail polish sticks, I would use oops, I'm throwing stuff around. I would use a Sharpie marker. So if you look here, like this says it's Zoya turn on when it's in actuality it's SquareHue turn on. But I used to use a Sharpie marker to write on these swatch sticks, but over time I realized that was a very inferior way of labeling these swatch sticks because the marker would rub off. Like you can see, like I am right now, right in front of your eyes, I'm rubbing that label off. So in my swatch stick collection, I actually have several sticks where I have no idea what they are because the label has rubbed off. So I wanted to go through and relabel my swatch sticks. Once I figure out who goes with who, I wanted to relabel them properly. So I do that in 2 separate ways. The first way is with a label sticker. These are the Avery multi-use labels. This is the size 1 inch by 3/4 inch. I got them at Walmart for like less than $3. And there's tons of them in here. And so what I used to do was I'd gather up all my nail polishes and the sticks and the swatches and whatnot, and I would write all the information I needed on these labels. So you can see here I wrote SquareHue D'Orsay November 2016, and that's this color right here. Now the only problem with using these labels is they would start peeling off over time. You've noticed I've like wrapped some tape around this label, which I don't know if you can actually see that very clearly, but there is some clear, just regular cellophane tape on top of it to keep the label on there. But then I realized like that's just a lot of work. That's a lot of work to have to write really small, all the information you need, and then put it on the little label and then use some tape to wrap it up. So I opted to upgrade myself to a label maker. So I bought this label maker at Walmart for, I want to say it was like under $20. It was maybe like 15, 18, I don't remember how much it is. This is just the Dynamo Letra tag. I have it loaded with the clear transparent tape. And so then it's so much easier because you can just type out everything you need to put on there. And when you type it out, it comes out on this really nice, very legible, small little label that fits really, really nicely on the swatch sticks. Now, sometimes they're actually a little bit wider, but then I just go through and trim it really quick with a pair of small scissors. And these ones will not rub off. They won't come off unless you pick at them. And unless you leave the free edge over here, then they might peel off. But if you trim it close to the swatch stick, you shouldn't have a problem. So that's how I'm gonna go about like labeling all of my swatch sticks. I'm not gonna like bore you guys with that process though, because there are so many. Like, let me just show you real quick all of the swatch sticks that I need to label. Like, these are all of the SquareHue swatch sticks I need to label. So I have a lot of work to do in front of me, but honestly, this is one of my favorite things to do while watching TV. I love to just sit in front of the TV and label swatch sticks, and I bring all the polish out with me and I label them and I put them away. Like, I don't know. I just really like organizing, and using the label maker is like the funnest thing ever. So this will be my project for the next couple of days whilst catching up on TV and watching our shows and movies and whatnot. And I mentioned before that like I have trichotillomania, which is where I like play with my hair a lot, and I play with it so much that I like pull out my hair. And so having projects like that while watching TV is really, really useful, because then I don't pull out my hair. But anyway, why did we get off on trichotillomania? I have no idea. So now that we're done with SquareHue, I'm gonna show you the bookcase, how much progress we made, and my plans for where I'm gonna put my SquareHue polishes. All right, so here is my situation. We have our bookcase. You'll notice that some polishes are missing because I had my friends over to paint nails, and I have yet to put back all of the polishes we used. So there are some holes missing, but it doesn't mean anybody's gone. It just means they were being loved and used, and they'll be put back in a minute. But here we go. Look at how much space I've opened up with SquareHue. So I have not put any of the SquareHue polishes back, mainly because I think if I were to put them back in the bookcase right now, it would fill up the rest of those open spots. Like, I have a lot of SquareHue nail polish, and I have a lot of extra polishes that needs to go inside this bookcase. So my plan for SquareHue is, right now, some of them are in that little storage container right there. Those are all the SquareHue polishes that have their swatch sticks that have been labeled correctly. Meanwhile, these polishes are all the SquareHue polishes that have not been labeled correctly. So once these all get labeled, they will join their SquareHue brothers and sisters over there. And then the plan is, when this is happening, I don't really quite know, because like I mentioned before, our air conditioner just broke and we have to buy a new one, and those babies are expensive. So it looks like my no-buy is going to be lasting a little bit longer than I anticipated. But regardless, my end goal with my nail polish storage collection, and more specifically SquareHue, is to build some shelves over here, like the ones that Phoebe has on her channel. She has these really cool shelves that she installed in her house that are made with like L brackets and like really thin 1-bys, or yeah, I think they're 1-bys. And she just popped them up on her wall, and they are like perfect for her polishes. So my plan is I want to do that on this wall for just for SquareHue, because I have every intention of staying with SquareHue. I've really enjoyed their products. I've been enjoying their creative direction. I've just really been enjoying them as an indie subscription nail polish brand. I think I was noticing in one of my past, in like the video I posted with the SquareHue collection, I think it was Flory, asked like how, like if I've been with SquareHue since day one. And the answer is no. I have not been with SquareHue since day one. I've been with them, I started in like August of 2014, and I believe their company started either at the beginning of 2014, maybe the end of 2013. So there is an entire passport collection, and I have been trying to find the previous bottles. In particular, there's a Tokyo one that I want that Tokyo box so bad. But it's like many, many years old now, so it's harder to find those earlier boxes. But no, I have not been with SquareHue since the beginning. I have been with them really early on, but not since the beginning. And I kind of wish I had the first half of the passport collection, because yeah, there were some good polishes in the first half of the passport. But anyway, enough rambling on about SquareHue. I need to get back to filming more videos for you guys. My family is going on vacation, maybe this week when you're watching this video. I think I'll be posting this video on Monday, and we'll be leaving for a family reunion on Wednesday. So I'm gonna try to do some pre-filming. I'm gonna actually do our next D-stash, which is going to be Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is right there. is right here, and there's some over here. So I'm gonna film my Wet n Wild D-stash, and hopefully that will be pre-scheduled to go out while we're on vacation. So I'm gonna get working on that because I really wanna get that up for you guys and have a true D-stash video. But I'm glad you guys liked this video. I'm really pumped that you guys wanted to see my SquareHue collection. I really like it. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm excited to get them all situated in their new storage system over there. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start filming my next D-stash, and I will see all you lovely people in the next video. Bye!